Hello YouTube, Moose Cow here. I got another overview of another game with Madman. I'm Axis and he's Allies, and we got ourselves a conceded victory to the Axis during US's turn of round 5. Here is the casualty bin for this half round. The boneyard dish. I got another Russian fighter in there. Got ourselves the Russian Air Force. We got a bunch of naval units, German ground forces, all that fun stuff. So here's the state of this game. I did a G2 attack on Russia, and because of the weird nature of how the Pacific played out, I never declared war as Japan. So U.S. went all in this game in the Pacific, pretty much, that's what Madman did. And living up to his name, it was a little crazy. He got a sizable force down here, but at the end of it, he made a few mistakes. He left some transports vulnerable. He's only got one transport left in the Pacific, so he's now kind of halted in his spread, and he retreated after taking the Philippines. He went from Celebes over to here just to kind of regroup. And he conceded to me. Admittedly, he conceded to me because he just frankly got diced. Madman's got real bad history with twos, and there were several battles this round, or this half round, here and here, that he should have been able to win, and he frankly just didn't. As a diversion tactic with Japan to try and knock out some of his cannon fodder that he was pumping into the Pacific, I brought a destroyer, a cruiser, a transport, and a fighter and attack into 26, where he had some subs and destroyers, and he had 2 fighters in the Hawaiian Islands, and he scrambled them, and he got completely diced. I got one. I had one battleship undamaged, and the cruiser left. He then brought remaining units from C-Zone 10, more subs and destroyers, and he didn't want to risk AAA fire from the battleship, so he didn't bring these guys in here, but he brought destroyers from 54 and subs from 10, and attacked here again, and he only knocked out my cruiser, and I was able to beat all of them. He got completely diced. He just was not rolling hits. And then over here, on the flip side over here, we had 2 subs and a destroyer. He sent 2 subs, 2 destroyers, and he sent 2 subs and 1 destroyer to 52. And he attacked this one Italian destroyer, and he never got a hit, and I just kept getting hits. There were a couple rounds where I didn't get hits, but he just never got a hit, and he was just completely diced. So even though the Axis are not doing great in the Pacific, doing great in Europe, we got ourselves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 victory points, with an inevitable fall of Moscow, maybe getting Stalingrad, and just some other general mischief on the board that can possibly happen. The Philippines could possibly be retaken, depending on what he would do with here, with that navy. But the star of the show has been Italy. I've done a real good job as Italy this game. Italy took basically the entire attention of the UK the entire time. I played really defensively. I built up my Air Force. I got 3 fighters and a strategic bomber and a tactical bomber. I got my battleship still and my cruiser still, and the fact that this guy survived means that these British subs can't attack these guys either. So, and also the canal is currently closed, so he can't even bring the aircraft carrier in there to land air units. So yeah, basically I wanted to keep playing, of course, but Madman was really upset, and he conceded. Could have played it out. Maybe I would have gotten its full 12 victory points, maybe not, but it just wasn't fun to him anymore at this point. So we will be picking. He's gonna require a little break, he says, and we'll pick up with another game soon enough. But Russia was developing self-propelled artillery. The UK was developing improved transports. The Commonwealth got super subs, didn't get a chance to use them yet, and the US got improved shipyards. So that's fun. And the situation over here, I'll back up a little bit more. The situation here in Bryansk, we had a big battle in Bryansk. Germany also has heavy. I totally glanced over my tech. Germany has heavy tanks. Japan has improved shipyards. We had a big battle in Bryansk, and he wasn't thinking, and he attacked Western Ukraine with his air force, but he had, with where they were down here in the Caucasus, and he had to land them in either Bryansk or Ukraine. And so because of that, he there wasn't a spot he could land them that it wasn't a target for me coming in from here in eastern Poland. So I went all in, knocked out his air force. He's got one fighter left. He got several fighters. He got lucky with the Lend-Lease and got several fighters up here in Archangel, like 2 or 3, I think. And he did an interesting move where most people just leave northwest Iran for the Soviets, but he took that as the Soviets, and he took Iraq, and he took eastern Iran. So what he did do, and this was pretty interesting, he brought some UK units to whittle down Iraq. Didn't take it, but he whittled it down, so there was one guy left. Italy made its way over here, got the one guy, but then the Soviets took it right away with the Air Force. And then he also sent a unit down to Turkmen SSR to walk in to take eastern Iran, because that is to the Soviet Union, that's $2 right there every turn with their NO. It's no money for UK, but that does count. That does mean money for the Soviets. So this is a smart move, even though it means holding off on Middle Earth. I think this is a pretty smart move overall. Anyway, so that's where we're at here. Oh yeah, the Trans-Siberian Railway is interrupted with Tunguska being taken from a Japanese infantry that was in Kansu, and now it's marched up to Urals. This turn, we got Siberia taken, we got Amur taken. The Mongolian rule was broken by the Soviets first, so Mongolia did not play a part of this battle of this game. And we got a not great hold on China. Japan probably will not be getting China this game because they've had to deal with this beehive up here in Manchuria. I managed to take out a undefended transport in 41, undefended transport in 43, landed a tactical on Hainan, landed it here as opposed to here just because if they want to knock this out, then they got to land in some place that's not worth anything, and this at least helps China, but that doesn't help anybody. And I took out transport here, landed on Sumatra from Yan'an. Anyway, that's the recap of this game. Again, the dice were very much in my favor for most of this game. Madman has conceded. I think if he played it out and if the dice improved, it's still very possible he could have won. But with the way things have been going, especially because the U.S. has allowed Germany complete, undivided attention against Russia, Italy has been taking up the UK's attention the entire game. So because of that, Germany is really on the stomping ground right now. They just built a factory in Romania to help with taking this stuff down here, as opposed to building it in Leningrad. All of this over here is going to fall. I probably won't be able to get down to the Middle East and stuff, but all that's going to fall. And it just wasn't any fun anymore. And I felt really, really, really bad for him. So he's conceded, and we'll take a little break, and we'll get into the next game when we can. So until then, let's hope Madman rolls the dice better.